Deep thinkers are not calm. They're not peaceful. And they're definitely not mentally relaxed. They're restrained. There's a difference. Calm people rest. Deep thinkers are constantly holding themselves back from explaining, from correcting, from saying, "You're missing the point." Most of them are exhausted, not physically, mentally. If you've ever felt tired just from thinking, stay. 1. They don't think more. They think in layers. Most people experience life in moments. Deep thinkers experience life in layers. They don't just hear what was said. They hear why it was said. They notice hesitation, tone shifts, contradictions, emotional leaks people don't even know they're showing. One sentence becomes a pattern. One reaction becomes a chain of causes. One conversation becomes cognitive weight. This isn't intelligence. It's hyperprocessing. Their brain doesn't filter meaning. It absorbs all of it. Depth isn't a skill. It's a default setting, and default settings are hard to turn off. 2. Why they speak less. People think silence means insecurity. Wrong. Deep thinkers are quiet because they're running too many internal simulations. Before they speak, they calculate accuracy, impact, misunderstanding, emotional fallout. Most conversations aren't worth the energy cost, so they choose silence, not because they have nothing to say, but because saying it would require explaining the entire mental path that led there, and most people don't listen long enough for that. 3. Overthinking is not a flaw. It's unmanaged depth. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Overthinking isn't thinking too much. It's thinking without resolution. Deep thinkers don't struggle because they analyze. They struggle because their mind doesn't know when to stop. They replay conversations. They dissect decisions. They revisit moments that already ended, not because they enjoy it, but because closure requires certainty, and certainty is rare. Their mind keeps asking, "What did I miss? What does this really mean? What happens next?" And the brain hates unanswered questions, so it keeps digging, even when there's nothing left but pain. A mind without an off switch doesn't find truth. It eats itself alive. 4. Why they feel out of sync with the world. Deep thinkers don't feel different because they're special. They feel different because their processing speed doesn't match the world's pace. The world rewards fast reactions, quick opinions, instant emotions, but deep thinkers move slow, not in action, in understanding. While others jump to conclusions, they're still mapping consequences. So they're often late to the moment, not because they're confused, but because they're too thorough. It feels like living one step behind reality in a world that already moved on. Final truth. Being a deep thinker isn't a gift. It isn't a curse either. It's a weapon. And if you don't learn to control it, you'll turn it on yourself. Unmanaged, it becomes anxiety. Misunderstood, it becomes isolation. Disciplined, it becomes clarity. The problem isn't that you think too deeply. The problem is nobody taught you where to aim it. And once you do, you stop drowning in your mind and start using it. If a thought does not change a decision or an action, it does not deserve repetition.